I think I'm out here at the island. I just want to do a little update. I have to sit in the car. I jumped in. That's my first time in the ocean this year. And my phone's almost dead. Today, this is going to be a little bit of an update, and I'll just try to post this as just a little YouTube thing. I just spent the last 2 days really messing with one of the websites, which is the WordPress site. Today, it's resolved. I talk about it on videos that are going to be after this, because I want to do this one just as an update. But the thing that upset me was I managed to, I never pay for call the tech support and all. You could do most anything you need to do on your websites. You can do those things. I learned that. But people sometimes pay because they don't know how to do a lot of stuff. And it takes time. You Google online, okay, this is not working. I lost the blog roll on my WordPress site. And then you read all the forums. And I knew that the problem I had the other day, which was I was going to add a little hit counter to my site. And I tried to update the sites for the last couple of weeks. Well, it deleted not all of my links, which would have been a big thing, because you got to upload. I save everything to flash drives, multiple flash drives. But some people don't do that. And so if they have a lot of videos and they lose everything, they're gone. That's foolish to do. I save everything, text. So I was going to bite the bullet because I was too frustrated. And I did. I called the WordPress tech support, and they were going to do a certain thing manually to restore what's called the blog roll on WordPress, which means they type all the text or whatever. Now, I knew they didn't have to do that. And I even told the guy, I said, I'm going to bite the bullet and let you guys do this, because I know you do it for money, and it's $170, and I paid it. And it wasn't completely done. But I knew there was another function that if I just messed with it, I would be able to find every link on my site and make every link public and just create another sidebar category. I don't want to get too technical, because I'm not technical. I just learned all this by messing with things. It's hard. So today, we finally resolved everything. Okay? It was a simple thing. But I was upset because for the last 2 days, when I had to call back, and the men that speak to me, I try to be nice to them, and I was upset. They knew I was mad. And they all have foreign accents, maybe Indian accents. And I'm not trying to be prejudiced here, okay? But they're working, and that's great, and they take those types of jobs where they're not the real, they know somewhat tech, but over a while I realized I knew more than them, because when I do my posts, that, as you see, I have YouTube links, I have the post title, whatever the name of the post is, and then I have a WordPress link. So, when I posted and I realized the WordPress links were not public, that's what I was trying to correct. And then I talked to the different guys that are answering the phones, and then they go to the site and they say, oh, here's your video, which is the YouTube video. I said, look, that's a YouTube video that's linked into the daily post. And I can't explain all this to you guys, because they just see the title of the post. Oh, that is on there, sir. I said, look, and I got mad. I said, let me talk to somebody. Put the guy on that you keep. They were going back and forth. I never got the manager, but they go back and forth to the manager, sort of like I was a beginner, and I'm not. And then they come back and say, okay, do you know there's settings you have to do to make your video public? I said, look, I've uploaded 300 videos. God, let me. And the people that were trying to help me, tech support for WordPress, they didn't even know how to get to my links. And that's why I was frustrated, because obviously they were on the computer. I gave them the password and all. They're doing it remote type thing. And so they show me how you upload links. I said, look, brother, if I'm talking to, and I had to give him a tutorial to see how to actually upload a video link, which WordPress is a site that hosts links. And I was upset. I said, look, I understand what's happening here. You guys are doing your best. You got these jobs. I said, but I can't spend an hour giving you a tutorial on how to upload videos, and you're the tech support. But I had to do it. I had to show them how to access. You shouldn't have to do that, because now when we got it resolved, it got resolved, which was today. But I was mad. I wasn't cursing, but I was mad, and they knew I was mad. And I just wanted to share that, because you might think some of the theme of the next videos next week, we're talking about the Logos. I'm not going to reteach it now, or I'll feel required to make a link, because I feel that's a responsibility to teach. So some of the theme coming up is the Word of God, and how your purpose, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That's John 1:1. And in your life, at the beginning of your life, God had a purpose for you. There was a word, a purpose in your life that was from the beginning, from the start of your life. And in time, in the volume of the book, it is written of me, lo, I come to do thy will. In time, in your life, what's more important than anything is that you fulfill that. And the added frustration to me is there are times where, like, I thought, I'm not sure how long our lives will be. And the panic that I had at certain times, the last maybe 5 years, even before I was doing a lot of the videos, there were times where I thought I might have had colon cancer. And I had just dropped my insurance when I thought, I have some signs of that. Now that's been about 5 years, 6 years, when I retired actually. And when I panicked, it wasn't, part of it was, no, I lost my insurance, I'm going to have to get checked now, I got all this going on, I just dropped my insurance. And I wanted to make sure all of my radio shows, in case I died, that they would, why? Not that they're so great, not that the teaching ministry is so fantastic. Your purpose is there's a word of God in your life that was to be deposited throughout your life. That's the theme the next couple of videos. And I noticed, I said, as we get older and we deal with our own mortality, that's what comes to mind. The few occasions I've had various scares like that. I noticed that. I said, I want to make sure, in case something happens, because as you progress in life, whether you even consciously realize it or not, that's what becomes important. Sometimes we refer to that as legacy. Okay? Now, I don't want to go long, because I'm going to teach that, and I want you to see this one tomorrow. But that added to the frustration. Everything is fixed now. But it was frustrating for me to be talking to tech people who that's their job, and they didn't know the difference between a YouTube video and their own video. And I tried to be patient, but that upset me. And then with the guy I spoke to today, they were all the same accent, and I was calling them the same name. Is this James? Is this Alex? And even when it was corrected, he didn't even know, because then he clicked the little link on WordPress for the video, and then he thought they weren't working, because when he clicked the link, it just downloads. And I had to explain to him, I said, well, actually WordPress is a host for video downloadable links. I said, they're not supposed to play. When he clicked my radio links on WordPress, he said, well, those play. I said, that's correct, those play. It's not the same as video. But just that, a big part of the whole process of me being on the phone with these guys that were trying to help me, I had to tutor them how to get to the links. And they would show us how, on the phone, show us how you upload it. I said, look, man, if I have to show you that gives me no confidence that you're going to be able to help me here. And what they would do is then they would go to the manager, supervisor, who we could have quickly resolved it in 5 minutes. And I had to simplify my instructions, because there were various things that they didn't get correct. as they reloaded a lot of text to add a blog roll. They didn't get it all correct. But I said, you know, what I need to start with you guys is give you one thing at a time. I said, right now, what we need to resolve is the links to my videos on the site, they're intended for the public. They're not intended just for me. I said, and the way it is now is every link on my site that is there is only accessible to the administrator, which would be the person with the password. I learned all this already, but I had to re-explain it to these men. I said, because they would tell me, the links are there. I said, I understand that, but they're there only for me. We need to get the links on the home page. There was a little more to it, and I couldn't explain it, because even when you copy a link for a video, if you copy it from the administration portion, and you, the viewer, go to it on the link, you hit the link, you won't get the link. You'll have to get administration. That's for me. You got to put in a password. That's not for a public website. So, the site works fine now. But the men that I was talking to, they were, you know, they couldn't. They were telling me, because the title to all of it is the same title, as you know, those of you who watch this. So they would look at the post with the title, whatever it was, and then the YouTube video with the same title, and then I did not have the WordPress link on because it wasn't working, but they were looking at it on the website. Oh, it is there, it is there. I said, brothers, I can't explain all this to you. I said, I understand what's happening. You're good men. You got a good job. I said, you're going back and forth to the supervisor who's thinking I'm a beginner, trying to teach me how to upload videos. I said, I've done 300 already. I said, so this is what we need to understand. And when I finally explained it, there were a few things, of course they were helpful. And but it frustrated me. And then when I got off the phone with all those technical problems, every contact in my phone was deleted. Had nothing to do with WordPress. It's technology. The Samsung phone, it was, you know, messing up as I was talking to the guys, because things pull up on the phone, and so then every contact got deleted. But then that's fixed now. I want you to see, I just jumped in. It's the first time I jumped in this year. This will just be an update. So the next few days, we're going to talk about the Word of God, Logos, the purpose of God for you and me. And even when you see my frustration, it's not that our teachings are so fantastic. That's my purpose at this stage of my life, to make sure I do an effective deposit. And I want that deposit. Thankfully, we live in a day where you can do everything like this. And we don't want to just use social media for an avenue. I'm venting. But some people use it just for that. There's never really any constructive, you know, you can have 1 million hits because somebody got hit by a car. You know, a YouTube video goes viral if it was a big... That's not the best use for these types of things, okay? God bless you. This will be tomorrow. The water's nice. It's the first time. My son-in-law might be out here in a little bit, okay? God bless everybody.